Hey everybody, Jamie from the Marine Doctor's YouTube channel, and you better beware of that guy. So we've had some boats show up this year, and they've been coming from a small town just outside of where I live, and they're being charged for work that isn't being done, or what the guy believes he needs to be doing in order to help these people out. Maybe he's trying his best, maybe he's a shyster, I don't know. But this is the latest one to come in. I spoke with this guy and he said it idles rough and it's really hard starting. So I said, well, bring it in, I'll take a look at it. Now the reason it ended up here was the guy told him that he rebuilt the engine, but he doesn't know how to set the carbs up properly, and that's why it doesn't idle right. So I said, hey, bring it in. It's possibly even 2 screws that I need to adjust, and it'll be running fine. Well, he gets it here, and it took, probably about 5 minutes to get this thing to even start, okay? All the rebuilds that I do, you touch the key, boom, away they go, real quick, right? So I know how to start these things. I know how to start them efficiently and quickly, and I had difficulty starting this. All right. So when I finally got it running, as you guys can see right now, I've got it apart. But when I finally got this thing running, if I stood right here and listened, I could hear clack, 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 clack while it was running. So I said to the customer, I said, or I asked him, I said, do you know if he replaced the pistons or did he just re-ring this engine? In other words, did he leave standard pistons in, kind of messed up the cylinders with some Scotch-Brite or whatever he was doing, and just throw new rings at it? He said, well, I don't know. He said there was some kind of rebuild kit he put into it. So I'm looking at the carburetors right now, and those gaskets look new. Okay, so someone's actually been in there and done the carbs. So maybe that was the rebuild that was done. But I said, you know what, leave it here. I'll pull the heads off. I want to take a look inside. I want to see if they're stamped as standard. I want to see what's going on the inside, and, you know, relieve all doubt. And he says, okay, you do what you need to do. If it wasn't rebuilt, rebuild it for me. All right. So I pulled off this head, and oddly enough, you can see the lines, the cross hatching that's in here isn't cross hatching. That looks like someone took some Scotch-Brite or some sandpaper and just went around and around and around. That's what that one looks like. Now, when we go over to this other side, and I gotta maneuver the, oh my God, it doesn't want to turn. There we go. And it's hard to turn, and there's no spark plugs in it. That's never a good sign. Ideally, yes, we are turning the water pump, and maybe the water pump is spanky and new, but yeah. All right, if we look in that cylinder, look at that. Look at all the scoring that's in there. This engine wasn't rebuilt. The paint is still here. There's still paint on bolts everywhere. It's still dirty. Like, who would rebuild an engine and not clean the thing? So now this guy paid that guy X number of dollars. I have no idea how much. And now we have to rebuild this engine. So he's going to end up having to pay, obviously, considerably more to get this thing back on the water. So today's lesson, people, is this. Do your research. If you're going to get someone to fix your engine, look on Google, find the reviews, talk to people, get referrals before you take it in and get something that's going to be very expensive to get done. You know what? If the guy did the carburetors and he told him that I did the carburetors and it still didn't run right, that's perfectly fine, because maybe he just made a mistake. Maybe he doesn't have the education he needs in order to get this engine running properly. But I'm going to tell you guys this. Carburetors weren't the answer. New pistons and rings, that's the answer. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, like, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching.